Hello everyone and welcome back to English Flow channel. I'm David and today we are going to do a complete English speaking workout together. Do you want to improve your English step by step from simple beginner sentences to more advanced and fluent expression? Do you want to train your speaking, your listening and your confidence at the same time? Then this lesson is for you. Today we are going to do a full shadowing practice through 5 levels of English. We will begin with very simple A1 sentences, then move to A2, B1, B2, and finally C1. The goal is to help you speak more naturally, more clearly, and more confidently. This is not a grammar lesson. This is speaking practice. I want you to listen carefully, repeat out loud, and focus on the rhythm of the language. Do not translate in your head. Just listen, repeat, and let the English become more automatic. We will practice in 5 levels. Level 1 is A1 beginner. These are very simple sentences for everyday life. Level 2 is A2 elementary. These are short practical sentences for common situations. Level 3 is B1 intermediate. These are more natural phrases for real conversations. Level 4 is B2 upper intermediate. These are longer sentences for opinions, feelings, and more detailed communication. Level 5 is C1 advanced. These are more complex sentences for fluent and expressive English. Take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin. Level 1. A1 beginner. Very simple sentences for daily life. Greetings and introductions. Hello, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is David. What is your name? Nice to meet you. How are you? I am fine. Basic feelings and needs. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I need water, I need help, I need a doctor, I need a taxi, I need my phone. Simple daily actions. I get up early, I wash my face, I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast, I drink tea, I go to work. I come home late. I read a book, I watch a movie, I go to sleep. Simple descriptions. This is my bag. That is my chair. The room is small. The food is hot. The coffee is good. My house is near. The weather is nice. The car is blue. My shoes are black. The door is open. Simple questions. What is this? Who is he? Who is she? Where is my bag? Where do you live? What time is it? How much is this? Why are you sad? Can you help me? Are you ready? Excellent! That was level 1. These are simple sentences, but they are the foundation of spoken English. If these feel easy, that is a very good sign. Now let's move to level 2. Level 2, A2 elementary. Short everyday sentences. Daily routine. I usually wake up at 6:30 in the morning. I make coffee before I do anything else. I take a shower and get dressed quickly. I leave the house at around 7:45. I usually take the bus to work. I have lunch with my co-workers at noon. I come back home in the evening. I cook dinner and relax for a while. I sometimes watch TV before bed. I try to sleep for at least 7 hours. Family and relationships. I live with my parents and my younger brother. My sister studies at a university in another city. My mother likes gardening in her free time. My father works for a small local company. We usually eat dinner together on weekends. I talk to my best friend almost every day. My grandmother always gives me good advice. My family supports me when I feel stressed. I enjoy spending time with the people I love. We often laugh a lot when we are together. Shopping and money. I need to buy a new pair of shoes. How much does this jacket cost? Or do you have this in a different size? I think this is too expensive for me. Can I pay by card or only in cash? I am just looking, thank you. I would like to try this on. Can you give me a small discount? That sounds like a fair price. I will take it, thank you very much. Weather and free time. It is sunny and warm today. I think it might rain later this afternoon. Winter is usually cold and windy here. Spring is my favorite season of the year. I enjoy going for a walk when the weather is nice. On weekends, I like to meet friends for coffee. Sometimes I stay at home and listen to music. I am learning how to cook simple meals. I want to spend more time outdoors this year. The weather affects my mood more than I expected. Travel and directions. Excuse me, where is the nearest bus stop? Can you tell me how to get to the station? Go straight and turn right at the corner. The museum is next to the post office. It takes about 15 minutes to walk there. Is there a supermarket near this hotel? Could you show me the way on the map? Thank you for your help and your kindness. I think I may be a little lost. Can you repeat that more slowly, please? Very good. That was level 2. Now you are working with longer daily sentences and more realistic situations. Let's continue with level 3. Level 3. B1 Intermediate. Natural conversation in English. Talking about work or study. I work as an assistant in a small design company. My job can be busy, but I learn something new every week. I usually start work by checking my emails and messages. One of my responsibilities is speaking with clients on the phone. I like my co-workers because they are friendly and supportive. Sometimes I feel tired after a long day, but I still enjoy my work. I'm currently trying to improve my English for professional reasons. I believe better communication can create better opportunities. What do you enjoy most about your job? Are you studying something at the moment? Making plans? Do you have any plans for this weekend? I was thinking about going to the park on Saturday afternoon. Would you like to come with me if you are free? That sounds like a nice idea to me. What time should we meet and where? Let's meet in front of the station at 10. I can bring some snacks and drinks for everyone. If the weather is bad, we can change the plan. I am really looking forward to spending time together. Let me know if anything changes. Expressing opinions. In my opinion, learning English takes time and patience. I think daily practice is more useful than studying once a week. To be honest, I prefer calm places to noisy ones. I understand your point, but I see the situation differently. That is an interesting idea, and I had not thought about it that way. From my perspective, people learn better when they feel relaxed. I agree with you up to a point. I believe everyone should have time for rest and hobbies. What do you think about that? Would you say the same thing in your country? Talking about experiences, I visited another country for the first time last year. At first I felt nervous, but later I became more comfortable. The people were kind and the food was amazing. I once tried learning the guitar, but I gave up after a few months. It was harder than I expected, but it was still a good experience. Last year, I joined a local running event with some friends. I did not win anything, but I was proud that I finished. Have you ever tried something that surprised you? What is one experience you will never forget? I would love to hear your story one day, giving advice and encouragement. You should try to practice English a little every day. Do not be afraid of making mistakes when you speak. It helps to listen to English that feels interesting to you. Why don't you keep a small notebook with useful sentences? If I were you, I would focus on progress, not perfection. The most important thing is to stay consistent. It is okay to speak slowly while you are learning. Try to enjoy the process instead of rushing. You are improving more than you think. Keep going because your effort matters. Excellent! That was level 3. At this level, your English begins to sound more natural and more human. You are no longer just naming things. You are sharing ideas, plans, feelings, and experiences. Now let's move to level 4. Level 4, B2 Upper Intermediate. Longer sentences for clearer and richer expression. Feelings and emotional expression. Lately, I have felt a little overwhelmed by all the things I need to do. Even when life feels busy, I try to stay calm and organized. It is perfectly normal to feel nervous before doing something important. I was disappointed at first, but later I realized it was not the end of the world. Sometimes I feel anxious for no clear reason, and that can be frustrating. Talking honestly to someone I trust usually helps me feel better. I was genuinely excited when I heard the good news. Although the situation was difficult, I remained hopeful, telling a story. Something unexpected happened to me on my way home yesterday evening. I was waiting for the bus when I suddenly recognized an old classmate. At first, I was not sure it was really him because so much time had passed. When we finally started talking, it felt strangely natural again. We ended up sitting in a cafe for nearly an hour and catching up. He told me about his new job, his family, and the city where he now lives. It reminded me that life changes quickly, but some connections remain meaningful. By the time I got home, I felt grateful for that chance meeting. Hypothetical situations. If I had more free time during the week, I would spend it learning new skills. What would you do if you could take a month off from work? If I could speak English completely fluently, I would feel much more confident when traveling. Suppose you had the chance to live in another country for 1 year. Where would you go? If I were in charge of the project, I would probably organize the team differently. Imagine how different life would be if people listened more carefully to one another. Had I known about the delay, I would have left much earlier. It would be wonderful if everyone had access to better education. Pros and cons. On the one hand, working from home saves time and gives people more flexibility. On the other hand, it can sometimes feel isolating and tiring in a different way. One major advantage of online learning is that it is accessible from almost anywhere. However, it also requires a great deal of self-discipline and focus. A clear downside of living in a big city is the high cost of daily life. Nevertheless, many people accept that because of the opportunities available there. We need to look at both the benefits and the possible risks before deciding. All things considered, I still think it is a positive development. Persuading and explaining. Let me explain why I believe this approach could be more effective. I strongly believe that education should be treated as a long-term investment. Before making a final decision, you might want to consider the evidence more carefully. I am convinced that teamwork often produces stronger results than working alone. Would you be willing to try a different method for a short period of time? Let's examine the facts before we jump to conclusions. I encourage you to take this opportunity seriously. If we work together, we can create something genuinely valuable. Very good. That was level 4. At B2 level, you are speaking with more detail, more structure, and more flexibility. This is where you begin to sound more confident in serious conversations. Now let's move to level 5. Level 5, C1 Advanced. Complex and fluent expression, nuanced opinions. While I understand the logic behind that argument, I'm not entirely convinced by its conclusion. It is not that I reject the idea completely, but I do think it oversimplifies a complicated issue. From my perspective, the long-term consequences deserve more attention than the immediate benefits. I can appreciate why some people support that view, yet I remain skeptical about its practicality. There are valid points on both sides, which is precisely why the discussion requires more nuance. In the end, I believe the most responsible choice is the one that reflects our deeper values: speculation and uncertainty. There is a distinct possibility that the situation will improve over the coming months. At this stage, it is difficult to predict with complete certainty what the outcome will be. One could argue that the recent changes may produce unintended consequences. I cannot say for sure, but it seems entirely plausible that public opinion will shift again. Given the current trend, we may be entering a period of significant transformation. Much of the final result depends on variables that remain outside our control. For the time being, the wisest response may be cautious optimism. Complex processes and explanation. The first stage involves identifying the main problem and gathering relevant information. Once that has been done, the next step is to evaluate the available options carefully. After the initial plan is approved, the team moves into testing and revision. Throughout the process, regular feedback is essential to maintain quality and clarity. Any issues that arise should be documented immediately and addressed without delay. What makes the system effective is its ability to improve through repeated adjustment, reflection, and personal growth. Looking back, I can see how much my thinking has changed over the years. What once felt impossible now feels like a challenge I can manage with patience. I have learned that resilience is not about avoiding difficulty, but about continuing through it. Each setback taught me something valuable about who I am and how I respond under pressure. The older I get, the more I value consistency, honesty, and inner calm. My understanding of success has shifted from external approval to personal fulfillment. I am grateful for the experiences that shaped me, even the painful ones. Persuasive expression. It is essential that we address this issue now rather than wait for it to worsen. If we fail to act at the right time, the consequences may be far more serious later. Consider the alternative. If nothing changes, the current problems are likely to deepen. The evidence strongly suggests that our present strategy is no longer effective. I would therefore propose a more balanced and sustainable approach. Not only would this reduce unnecessary costs, but it could also improve trust and morale. I urge you to think beyond the short term and consider the broader impact of this decision. Together, we are capable of creating meaningful and lasting change. Excellent! That was level 5. You have now practiced English through 5 levels, from A1 beginner to C1 advanced. You started with very simple daily sentences, and step by step, you moved toward more fluent and expressive English. That is exactly how progress works. Not all at once, not in one perfect moment, step by step. Now here is your mission. Do not try to master everything in one day. Start with the level that feels right for you. Practice it until it becomes more comfortable. Then move to the next level. Come back to this lesson again and again. Repeat the sentences out loud. Shadow the rhythm. Train your mouth, your ears, and your confidence together. The more you repeat, the more natural English will feel. If this lesson helped you, please like the video, subscribe to English Flow channel, and share it with a friend who wants to improve their English speaking. And in the comments, tell me this: which level felt the most challenging for you? A 1, a 2, B1, B2, or C1? Thank you for practicing with me today. Keep speaking, keep improving, and keep believing in your progress. I'll see you in the next lesson.